What's up, guys, and welcome to College Football 26. This technically is my second attempt on making a Dynasty video. I did try a first attempt, but it didn't post, so I'm gonna remake it again. So as you guys can tell, I got College Football 26. We're gonna obviously go into the Dynasty mode real quick. So right now what we're gonna do is I'll show you guys. Alright, so quick up, this is gonna be a quick show of my conference. So as you guys can see, I did rebuild it a little differently than what I did last year. So this year, obviously I added the actual Pac-12 members. I kept the same as I brought Stanford and Cal back. But I did bring in SMU. I also brought Stanford and Cal back. Washington and UCLA I brought from the Big Ten. As you guys can see, I also snagged some of the ACC schools. Well, actually, I took a good chunk of ACC schools, but I did bring in two Big Ten and Notre Dame. So, yeah. So for this one, I am rocking with Memphis, and because of that, I'm technically on my third season right now with this Dynasty mode. So far I've won 2 national titles, which helps me rebuild very quickly. So right now, as you guys can see, I was here at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to be signing that many guys, but it's okay. My main hope is I can get Hugh Rhodes. He is the one that I really want, but at least as of right now, I'm not even on his radar. So most of the teams that he wants are in his sight, and I'm not even on him. So I might be cut off from this guy. So, yeah, I mean, so you guys can see my school. The only thing I can't fix is the academic prestige. So this one I can't fix. I can fix the rest of these, and that's by continuing to play the game and continue winning. So winning 2 seasons in a row, that helps. If I win a third one, it will definitely increase my stadium atmosphere, which is definitely something I need to increase on. Athletic facilities, it's the same thing. I need to continue winning on that. Camp lifestyle, that so yeah, these two are like the only things I can change. I mean, maybe they'll change on their own, but academic, that one's not changing at all. So, but the rest of these I need to make sure I upgrade, because obviously depending who you go with on your dynasty, you're obviously going to be taking over a team that you're going to lose a lot of players to the portal. So, for Memphis, that's no exception. When I took over, at least for the first 2 years, I've lost about a total of 16 players to the portal, and since I obviously didn't have my recruiting tree very high, most of my team going forward, at least for a while, is primarily going to have to come out through the portal, mixed in with guys I've drafted the year prior. So it's not a bad thing. But see. What's up, guys? Let's take a look. So let's dive into a game real quick. I'm not gonna do a long video. I mean, it is Christmas Eve, so I might get offline for at least a little bit. Maybe watch a few Christmas movies or something. But we'll start off with my game. I think it's game 1 of season 3 right now. So, like I said, my primary goal right now is to continue to win. So far, I've won 2 national titles back to back. Inaugural season of me doing my dynasty, I took Memphis and I beat Georgia.
The Washington Huskies taking on last year's national champions, the Memphis Tigers.
So right now, I kind of made it into a power conference. Obviously, if I didn't have the ACC schools, Notre Dame and Washington and UCLA back in the Big Ten, power conference, I don't think I would pop. Maybe we could, depends on how you put it, but so far, in my first 2 seasons, there's some teams that are not doing so well in my Pac-12. So after this game, I can tell you which ones they are. You might not find it that surprising, but
I can't wait to see what he's able to do today. And let's see if he can earn the respect of his teammates. You've done this, you have experience elsewhere.
We'll take a look
now you
at
get to do
this.
it for your squad, for your new team.
So right now, the only dude that I have really that I can trust right now is Drake.
Off the play fake. And as he throws,
oh shit,
he is lucky to get that one back. And the last thing you want is
so
to turn it
I'm
over on your
definitely
opening
careful with
drive.
this.
Looking for that first
Right now,
down
most of my weaponry is pretty much brand new.
That's reeled in. It's Green. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Yeah, it is.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air.
I'm going to have to get the running game going.
The referees caught it.
Right now, my receiving core is not that great. And I have Drake, but he's not a fast guy. Let's see. So far, anyone? Well, this dude's pretty fast, so.
And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire. He's going for a big play downfield.
Oh, so glad he caught that.
And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
This quarterback I'm using.
The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Gives it on the option. Defense holds their ground. Pick up a yardage at the 26.
This dude was already on the roster already, as far as being told.
Outside the pocket, lets it go.
Oh, he dropped the ball.
Okay. Loose by the hit. Here comes the
if my team keeps playing like this, I might win a chip this year. So.
From the gun, wants to pass. Catch in the middle. It's Marshall. That'll be enough for the 1st down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. And the Tigers are rolling down the field.
We're getting Bell involved. I think I can get him to football. Yeah, there we go.
Still on his feet.
I need to. This dude's been on my roster for the last 2 years, so I need to try to get his stock up. Whole purpose of me, at least for the first 4 or 5 years, I'm trying to make Memphis into a winning program to keep players from transfer. Now, there are going to be some categories that will make them transfer, but there are going to be things out of control. So, if I get players I want to transfer because of the, of the athletic, or not the athletic, of the educational system, that part I can't control. The only thing I can control when it comes to recruiting or maintaining players is the athletic side and the athletic culture and stuff like that. So it's the only thing I control. But educational, that I can't. And maybe next year they might make that a thing where you can actually control how the university makes the educational system work. But I think for that one, maybe in college football 27, they could put that in the game. At the same time, is that just going to add extra work. Basically, you telling you to make sure your players all go to school. That's the main thing.
The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball.
Okay.
Switch through the line.
Oh, yeah. Side. Ooh, yeah.
Touchdown, Tiger. The hidden yardage, the big play. Special teams coming through.
Now, leave your thing in the comments right now. Should I keep Memphis in the Pac-12, or do you think I should swap to another conference? The only reason I made the Pac-12 again is because I've always liked the Pac-12. Pac-12 is like my preferred conference when it came to power football. And obviously, the Pac is coming back next year, but outside of Oregon State and Washington State, it's not really Pac-12. And they're not saying that Oregon State and Washington State basically got ground down with it, but they were left nonetheless with a park mostly empty. Hard work. So obviously, to start off, they threw the team from the Mountain West in here. It's not like they're throwing, bad teams. But because of the fact they took these teams from the Mountain West, they beefed up a lot of teams. New Mexico tried showing, that they can be competitive now without the powerhouses from this conference anyway. So, and competitive they were. The New Mexico Lobos were competitive. And exactly, a playoff, a college football playoff record, but nonetheless, it's the biggest record they've had in years. Because it may not be college football playoff, but they let them do a bowl game. Now, they're going to get their asses beat, honestly. New Mexico is going one-on-one with a team from the Big Ten. That is not fair competition because your recruiting level is not on the same level as the Big Ten. Because New Mexico cannot attract 5-star recruiting anywhere. And New Mexico isn't exactly a hotspot for 5-star recruits to come to go in other conferences. If they do, it's not going to be with UNM or New Mexico State for that matter. And if you do, forget what I just did there. Half the time there is a 5-star recruit that comes from New Mexico. UNM and New Mexico State, they do try to get these guys and stuff like that, but especially if you have a team from the Big 12, ACC or Big 10 or the SEC calling, you're definitely going to go with, one of those guys because, one, NIL's more money for you. 2, brand exposure, more money for you. And especially if you have high hopes of getting to the pro level, being in those conferences are definitely one. Or heck, even the Pac-12 will help you. But UNM is not exactly known as a hotbed for making NFL talent. So,
looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. Looks as if this will be a 51-yard attempt. And it's right down the boulevard. Now the lead is down to 11.
Okay, so
we reached the break, and Memphis is holding on to the lead. And that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on.
Yeah, my roster's pretty bad. So I need to get my rushing.
Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. And he takes this from inside the 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. Memphis has the ball back and the offense ready to go to work.
Running the football after
and I think they'll give him 2 on that one. Second and 8.
Actually, running the football's pretty bad.
Got a little work.
It really is.
First down, now back to the line.
But nonetheless, I kind of need to get it going.
Oh, better look out.
Going the
There he
trick.
goes. Past the 30. Past the 10. Touchdown, Memphis. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Man, this guy is such a weapon because he's so dangerous if he gets into the second level. Great vision, and then David shows you the speed.
Now, occasionally, when it comes to making a dynasty, I know a lot of my friends pretty much told me, what would actually be unique is if I'm with a team that is, just straight up garbage.
On the move
So,
inside his 5.
because they were telling me to go with New Mexico Lobos, actually, or New Mexico State. It was basically either one of the schools from New Mexico that I could have chosen, or I could have chosen Delaware or Missouri State, which I think the primary reason is because since it's their first year in FBS, their overall rating in the game, it was terrible. Both these teams were coming in as a solid, I think, 55 something overall across the board, like a 54 offense, 54 defense. I think that was Delaware's rating. Missouri State's was like at best in the 60 range. I think the rating might have gone up because I think College Football 26 has had updates before where they kind of modify the ratings a little bit. So I'm not too surprised if the rating for these two teams kind of went up a little bit. And the fact that both these two newcomers are basically in the bowl games, it's actually saying something, which means
lets it fly deep downfield.
he got it.
The deep ball was there and it just trickled through his fingers.
When Missouri State and when Missouri State and Delaware came to fit that the FBS, everyone thought that the rule was, you couldn't be eligible for the playoff, but I'm wondering, but I think what got me confused is, I think the one that were wondering why they were in bowl games is because they were like, bowl games still technically count as playoff games. May not be for the national title, but you're winning a trophy nonetheless, so they're like, why are these two guys even in bowl games? Because they thought you had a 2-year grace period where you had to adjust. Oh, they're adjusted already. And honestly, they might become the next team out of the FCS, like James Madison, who basically are going to be doing pretty well for themselves in FBS. I mean, yeah, James Madison got stomped in the playoff, but it shows you
37.
how much success these guys have been in since being in FBS.
Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes
Now, am I saying Delaware and Jersey are going to be in the college football playoff? Probably not. At least not for the foreseeable future. Because you have to compete against a lot of the
coverage team gets the job done.
Well, they're in Conference USA right now, and I'm not entirely sure. Conference USA is not a conference a lot of high, quality star, teams want to go to.
Catch in the middle, it's Bell. Just gashing this defense, a big gainer to the 40-yard line.
But nonetheless, if you're able to play well the next few years, you could affect college football realignment.
Play action. A shot toward the end zone.
Okay. All my guys are like dropping the football, so rather than throwing it
they'll throw again after the incompletion.
And I was through that one.
Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third
terrible.
down.
Or it's just me. I'm just overthrowing it.
Big first play on this drive.
But then again, I forgot that he can run, so.
Finds a crease at the 20. Made a defender miss. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiger.
And this offense is firing on all cylinders right now. Starting the year, game one, creating a little bit of a pad and separation at the end of this first half. But you can see why so many people are really excited about this offense this season.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17.
Let's see.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive.
He's massive.
Hand off to the lone back. He stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying it and have had very little success.
Benton.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. So now it's second and long. Williams looking for a man. And the time just
not doing pretty well either.
Not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
So they're only more successful than ours, but still pretty bad.
Washington sends out the punt team. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Makes a move. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Looking to throw on 1st down. Finds his tight end. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. 2nd down coming up. Back to pass. Quarterback floating away from pressure. On the move to the right and looking for a big one. Knocked down at the 22. That's a 1st down. They can't stop.
Yeah, I definitely get this dude going. He's been in my room for the past few years, so I do need to upgrade the punt.
Got him downfield. Touchdown, Memphis. Oh, that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finish the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Williams will pass. That's caught. It's Lions. They make a stop.
I need to get Drake involved.
The play action fake.
He's like my #1 receiver right now.
He uncorks a laser deep down the middle. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36. That kind of play will send a surge of energy through your offense. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 40. Just let him a little too far across.
Wait a minute. Let me take a look. That's it.
We've got a timeout here as this coach is
Doesn't have to
challenging the
manually
call.
count
He
that.
wants to give the replay booth a chance to have another look.
See it.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied and the timeout is gone. He lets it fly. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down. Boys, guys, they got off to a great start with that big first play on this drive. But now a couple of incompletions leaves them in a hole. On the run, fires downfield. He's got an open man. Got enough to move the sticks. 1st down from the 17. The Tigers are moving quickly down the field. Little touch pass to the receiver. Got some room, headed to the goal line.
Oh, my dude, he's just going to run because not very well. He's being double teamed.
He'll start this drive firing. Got room to work. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Maybe
And here comes the offense on 2nd down.
Kind of like open up some gaps now.
They'll run it from the gun. Crosses the 35. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard
starting running back, but you know,
offense set on 1st down.
it's fine.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Able to pick his way forward for a decent gain before the defense gets him down. After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line? The Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. And they'll miss the connection here on 3rd down.
I think in this situation, after that incompletion, 4th and short on your side of the field, the smart play is to punt it away and trust your defense.
Big man has it. It's a 1st down and more. And he'll go out of bounds in this aerial attack. Just continues to carve this defense into tiny slices. Memphis coming to the line with a fresh set of downs. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late.
Going for it all. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. The short hands, it's straight. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the 1st down. And on 4th down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. Never a doubt. Memphis has the ball back and the offense ready to go to work. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. And the Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. The officials stopped the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Fires to the big fella. And they'll knock him down. The Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Off play action. Grabbed over the middle. It's Bell. Still on his feet.
Dang,
that down as he crosses the 50 and gets it to the 48. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Takes the handoff. It's Porter. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. Ball just inside the 40 at the 39. It's 3rd and short. They'll try to get it through the air. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. Got it inside the 10.
Oh.
He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. And that big gainer on the last one has him ready to go from inside the 10. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. And we have breaking news. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected.
Early, so.
A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Like, everybody's doubting us. Nobody thinks we can win. It's really easy to motivate that type of squad. They played motivated. They played a little ticked off. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the excitement, the adrenaline, the emotion, and they earned a big dub today.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Alright. Oh, you just looking at my phone. But I'll go ahead and show you what teams I'm telling you are kind of suffering right now. When we jump to next week. Okay. Let's see. So I'm still right there to grab the right tackle, quarterback. I jumped up to his 5th option. And look at that. And I'm in line now to get Hugh Rhodes. So I'm in a solid spot to start off. But if the schedule stayed about the same, let me show you guys real quick who is doing pretty bad right now so far. But it's pretty much going to be about well, at least as of right now, you know, probably not much to say really about the record because so far a good chunk of teams have yet to play one another, but the ones that so far that do mainly kind of struggle, the last 2 seasons were Colorado State, Utah State, Texas State, and Fresno State. And that might not surprise a lot of people, but San Diego State has been performing actually quite well against all these power teams that I basically put in here, and Notre Dame. As well as kind of reviving the draft stock for Oregon State and Washington State being power schools, because these two technically are power schools, but kind of were punished because they weren't punished per se, but no one in the power conferences wanted them because the Big 12, at least as of right now, they kind of already have way more than what they expected to get. Big Ten doesn't want him. I mean, you could put him in the Big Ten, but what good would that do, really? Well, what good it would do is for the Big Ten, bring in Washington State and Oregon State, you're bringing basically a good portion of the original Pac-12 back into your conference. So you basically would have a western wing of the Big Ten. Because, obviously USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington State, Oregon State, you would have had a western wing already right there to work with. Now, saying would it have helped to get for these schools? Absolutely. Now, Boise State would benefit from going to a power conference. Like, they have been a candidate for the past few years that has been in discussions to be a power team, but, for some reason it just doesn't happen. And I think the one time it did almost happen was when the original Pac-12 was throwing eyesight toward their direction. And this was before the Pac-12 exploded. So they wanted to bring in San Diego State. So that would have put a fifth school in the state of California in your conference. So you obviously had the two schools in Los Angeles, USC, UCLA. You had Stanford and Capital, also in the state of California. San Diego State would have been the fifth school in the Pac-12 if the power of Pac-12 did not go out. Boise State was actually in a market that the Pac-12 technically did have originally years ago, but the original founders of the Pac-12, the Idaho Vandals, they couldn't compete with everyone else in this conference. So they decided to downgrade themselves to the FCS. Now, is there money to be paid if you were to downgrade a level? I'm not sure if there is, because you're practically agreeing to downgrade yourself. So downgrading obviously means you're going to be agreeing to less money, and any conference within the FCS ranks, you are not going to be getting paid as much as you would an FBS conference. So they went to a conference that is, it's one of those FCS conferences that pays you high enough, maybe not FBS money, but high enough for FCS campuses. And the Pac-12 was discussing about getting him back into the market of Idaho, which came the Boise State Broncos. Obviously, their success is better than Idaho's success has been. Since Boise came up to the FBS they were in FCS, right? Yeah. When they came up for a short amount of time, Boise State and Idaho were in a rivalry, which I guess you could still call it that, because it looks like for Boise State, you might have to bring that rivalry back. Because next year, 2026 season starts the inaugural season of the revived Pac-12. And since their conference schedule is small, it's literally small. And I can't tell you if this is going to get you into the college football playoff or not, because you don't have enough teams in conference to raise your stock. So you're going to have to make non-conference games with a bunch of these teams. You're probably going to have to make so far 2 teams so far in the original in the revived Pac-12, that I do know of that have schedules. Well, not full schedules, but at least we know one of their opponents. So only 2 teams from the new Pac-12 already have a schedule of who they're going to face. So far, Oregon State has been announced to face UTEP in Texas, so they're on the road for that one, which I think is a downgrade if you're Oregon State. The fact that you have to fly down south toward the pretty much toward El Paso, really, where you're going to be playing on the Texas-New Mexico border. So that kind of tells you how low Oregon State went. Now, obviously, it's not their fault because of all the realignment stuff. These guys have been downgraded to G5, or I guess G6 now. Athletics. Texas State. They are going to be on game 1 of next year. They're on the road going up against the Texas Longhorns. Yeah, that's going to be a beatdown. There's no way in heck that's going to be a competitive game. If it does, and Texas State beats the Texas Longhorns, well, that's going to be the shock of a lot of people. The fact that a team that is still trying to climb high into the ranks beat a team that's trying to be in the national championship playoff, which they could have done last year, but they lost too many games. The loss to Ohio State definitely affected them. But I'm waiting for the scheduling of the new Pac-12 to see where everyone goes, and is a lot of these teams going to be getting quality opponents next year? If they do, there's probably going to be a few that do. So obviously, my version of the Pac-12 is made up, but the only ones I can see that'd be getting quality, non-conference games, it's going to have to be Boise State, Washington State, and Oregon State. Obviously, Oregon State and Washington State would be getting non-conference games with the Big Ten. And obviously, if they do get non-conference games with the Big Ten, it's going to have to be with some of the teams that defected from the Pac-12 to go into the Big Ten. So obviously, the Oregon State-Oregon rivalry is going to be on that schedule to continue with the Big Ten. Washington and Washington State, what is it called? The Apple Cup, I think, is what it's called for this rivalry. The Big Ten is not just going to, straight up just cancel these rivalries because they know how iconic they are. So, and, for Oregon State and Washington State, actually for all 4 of these schools, really, they're starting to think maybe you should just put these feuds on the shelf now because you downgraded the Washington State and Oregon States of the world, basically, and since you dropped them down from the power conferences, basically, while they're still holding the power conference banner, recruiting is definitely going to go down as far as, how much you can attract. So, if you're able to continue winning for the next few years, maybe you could help the Pac-12 get back there. And that would actually be a heck of a story. If you're able to reclaim your power status for the Pac-12, if you have the 2 originators alongside every other newcomer that comes in. Obviously, to start off, we're going to have, the default 8 of the revived Pac-12. Well, 9 if you count basketball with Gonzaga. But down the road, obviously, there's still room to add more members, which, what's her name? I forgot it already. But I forgot her position too. Well, anyways, the athletic department directors of the Pac-12, they're definitely going to be looking how the upcoming Pac-12 season's going to look like because, since last year they've tried to bring in a lot of teams, and obviously all the teams from the Mountain West pretty much said yes, and they said yes out of spite. And the rest of the teams that the Pac-12 tried bringing in, they're not coming in by saying yes out of spite. Because let's say if Memphis and Tulane actually got in, right? by doing the exact same thing that the rest of the Mountain West teams did. It would probably be a lot worse for the Pac-12 than what it is now. Because it would be. It would be a lot worse. So I don't think it's just the Mountain West at this point that you're fighting. You'd be fighting the American in court also. So the Pac-12 would basically be fighting two different fronts right now, and because of that, the Pac-12 would actually lose money. And actually, more in fact, both the Mountain West and the American would probably make a pact to where, they're going to continue putting pressure on the Pac to more than likely continue in these lawsuits to not only lose out their money, but kind of causes the Pac-12 to actually go out of business. And if that were the case, what would happen with the schools that's affected from the Mountain West? I'm not sure, really, of what would happen with these schools. Would the Mountain West take them back? I'm not sure if they would. Maybe. But at the same time, if they don't, all these teams that left are going to officially enter the FBS independent circuit, which means they don't have a home, and they're all going to have to schedule their own games. And that's not a good look. But if they were to succeed, only Washington State and Oregon State would probably be okay, because there's still quality athletic programs that are still recognized. Boise, I think, would also have a solid time making a schedule as an independent. So yeah, in other words, these teams would all basically join UConn and Notre Dame, the independent list. Now, would any of these teams stay independent for long? I'm going to say no. But, to be honest, I think Texas State would probably just go back to the Sun Belt if the Pac-12 were to dissolve. Texas State would go back to the Sun Belt, and I don't think anyone would blame them. So that they would basically go back into the conference with a team that basically took their place. So now Sun Belt would have Louisiana Tech and Texas State in that conference if, Texas State does decide to go back. Utah State, however, I think you might not have a choice but to call back the Mountain West and go back. Because you definitely are not going to get in the Power Conference, because the Big 12's not going to want you. Because they already have your two other brother schools, BYU and Utah, in it. And you are not talented enough to challenge anyone in the Big Ten, so you would be independent for a long time. But this has been my live stream, guys. This is BelG1999. Peace out, guys, and have yourselves a Merry Christmas. Peace out.